morning, everybody, and welcome to our regional webinar. We have quite some interesting news for you today. We will talk about supplier management solutions and focus on how business information can really enhance your business. And I'm really happy to have a lot of Coface experts from the Northern Europe region with us today. So first of all, it's Stefan Nehls. He's the Director of Business Information for the Northern Europe region. Then I say a very warm welcome to Monique Busch. She is joining us today from the Netherlands, and she's Director of Operations and Services for the Netherlands. And then a warm welcome also to the Nordics. We have Göran Ekman, who is a sales manager for the Business Information Solutions, and he's joining today from Sweden. So I am happy that we are all here and that you might get to know some interesting insights for your business today. Before we start, I have some information on how you are able to connect with us. You can ask questions anytime. How do you do that? You will find a menu in the right corner of your screen, and there is one menu point, questions or Fragen in German, and you just click onto this menu item, and then you are able to write up your question. You can start directly from now putting in your questions, and we will sum them up, and at the end of the session, after maybe 45 minutes, we will then take time to answer all of your questions. So please go ahead and participate. And with this, pretty much all is set. One information additionally, you will receive the recording of this session as well as the slides we are presenting afterwards. So if that would be your question, I hope I already answered it. And with this, I hand over to Stefan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Annette. Good morning, everybody. It's great to have you all with us. And it's also great that we have in the audience today participants from Finland, from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, and Germany. Yeah, we have 45 minutes time. We want to share some hopefully interesting information with you. We have a kind of a very short agenda. Hold on, let me. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So we have a quite short agenda, and it's we want to share some information about Coface with you. Then we go deep, quite deep and fast into our data models and different assessment approaches we have. And then we have a short live demo. And in the end, and this is still not on the agenda, we have to announce a new partnership, which is quite interesting for you, and we also have a special offer for you. So, but let's start. And on the next slide. Okay, it works. We want to give you some information about the background of Coface. Coface, the core business of Coface today, and it will be in the future, the core business is TCI, trade commercial insurance. We are one of the biggest trade commercial insurance provider on the international level. In the middle of the slide, you see long-standing experience. I mean, this is maybe quite interesting for you. We have this, and I'm a business information guy. I grew up in Dun & Bradstreet, Credit Safe, and other business information provider. I mean, the business model of a trade commercial insurance provider, from my perspective, is quite impressive, close to crazy. The idea is to earn with fees and premiums more than you have to spend with the losses. But you see, we are in this business model on a Coface international level since 1946. On the German level, by the way, next year we will celebrate our 100 years birthday. So the information behind is you just can't survive this business model when you really can handle risk, when you are a risk manager. So we are by nature, Coface, we are by nature risk managers. And this similarity is quite important for our customers. And later on you will see, and this is the whole idea of Coface business information, which I represent. The whole idea is we share with our customers exactly the same, 100% the same products, information and services which we are using to manage and to survive, to manage these 588 billion you see on the right, global leader for trade. And this is the whole idea of Coface business information, and this is maybe also the reason why we are quite so successful right now, because we cover definitely this premium segment of business information with our data. But later you will see more detailed how does it work and what kind of data do we have in addition. The next slide, this is also quite important. We have definitely one of the biggest global footprints because we must be in these countries, otherwise we could not manage our risk as a TCI, trade commercial insurance provider. So we are there where you have your vendors. We must be there to understand the culture, the politics, the climate changes. We have to be there, otherwise we could not manage our risks. So we are there where you have your vendors. So this is might also an important information. But now let's go a bit deeper into this whole Coface unique data approach. And as I mentioned before, I grew up in this business information provider segment, industry segment, for 23 years. And I think it's helpful to divide the business information market into the generic market and into the premium market. And the generic providers, you all know the names, the providers. They're all just collecting generic data, balance sheets, register data, business directories, communication data, and so on. They put a scorecard on it, and then they try to predict the insolvency ratio within the next 12 months. This works somehow. Before Corona, somehow in Corona, almost it collapsed, the whole system. And you also keep in mind, Coface, from the trade commercial insurance provider side, we are one of the biggest customers of business information provider. So we are knowing exactly the situation when you are sitting in front of business information provider and buying generic business information. This is for us almost normal, standard, similar to you. But on the other hand, and that's why we can be very transparent in this topic. On the other hand, we produce for ourselves and our customers for 64 markets. We produce our own generic business information. The same level as you know from your current provider. There's a generic score, credit limit, generic register data, balance sheets. It's all generic. But for us, this is a kind of master data. This is just the data where our journey starts to manage risk, and therefore you see, and this is how we expand this generic data, and then we step into the premium segment, because from our core business, trade commercial insurance provider, we have all this gold dust data. We have real payment experiences. We have real debt collection data on a global level. We have all the hundreds of underwriters with their special knowledge about risk situations and the rumors from the markets and so on. This is our data we put on top. And then we start to create our data products, our scoring and rating products. And the leading product and the most growing part in our business information segment at Coface, it's the so-called debtor risk assessment. It was definitely made to evaluate customers' risk. But you see, and I wrote it in red, we are very close to call it for the vendor side, vendor risk assessment. Yeah? It's definitely the same product, but two different use cases. One use case is on the customer side, one use case is on the vendor side. Maybe we merge both assessments and call it in the future business partner risk assessment. So we don't know, but this is definitely how we expand generic data with our Coface premium data, and then we create our products and services. And these are exactly the same products and services we use to manage our risk, the same, without any changes. And so this is this picture should show the difference between generic and the premium data. In other words, if you use just a generic information provider, you just can reach a certain point, and from this point on, you cannot improve the performance of your supply risk management as long you do not integrate premium data into your supply risk management system. So we use the same generic data, expanded with our expert system, network, knowledge, premium, gold dust data we have, and only then it's possible to improve the predictiveness, the performance on your supply risk management. So this was my first part, and I would like to hand over to you, Monique, and we will see a short live demo on our leading system, Ekman, and how easy it is to use this system. So please go ahead.
Thank you, Stefan. It's a pleasure for me to show you our Ekman portal, because I'm very proud of the product we have here. Let me see how I can share the screen. I think I already I'm sharing the screen.
Yes, you're sharing the screen.
Okay,
Monique.
that's nice. Thank you. What we see here, it's our login page. It's the website of our Ekman information Coface. It says you get your own login for this website, and it's very easy to enter. You can start with it immediately. You don't need a course. We have an handout, but it's very easy to use. Or what we say to our customers, just try to search whatever you want, and then you will get to know the system very easily. First of all, you search your business partner. Secondly, you choose your product, and then if you want to have more information, if you want to have contact with one of our Coface colleagues, then you can ask for that. In our portal, we have three kinds of products. We start with the business reports. That's the generic information that Stefan was talking about. We have a short report. We have a comprehensive report. It's based on information which is publicly available. We do not differ that much with our other competitors. It's a descriptive report based on the figures in the past, so nothing predictive, nothing prescriptive. We offer this as well, but it's not based on our unique Coface data. As Stefan already mentioned, our most important product is the DRA score, debtor risk assessment. A DRA, it's a score from 0 to 10. If you have a 0, then you're bankrupt. If you have a 10, then you're an excellent company. Here in the Netherlands, we see, for example, ASML, which is a very nice and very healthy company. So that's scored with a 10. It's a predictive score, as I said. It's a prediction about the likelihood over a period of 12 months, so a year, whether a company is able to fulfill its financial commitments. And based on that, it's very interesting for our supplier side, because as Stefan already mentioned, we have a lot of suppliers who use this to get a better view on the risk with their suppliers, especially in the automotive sector. The advantages of the DRA are clear. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to explain to all the colleagues within your company. It's very easy to make a policy with which supplier you want to do business, with which supplier you want to have more information. what we see from 0 to 4, then you have to be careful. From 5 to 10, then it's a more reliable company. The advantages: you have access to a worldwide database. We are everywhere in the world, everywhere where our customers go. There you can see Coface as well. You can check the DRA once, but you can also choose for the monitoring services. Then you enter the monitoring service, and then if something changes in the DRA, then we will give you a message, and then you can adjust your policy towards that supplier. The DRA is the same in the whole world. It's also based on the country risk score. So if one of your suppliers is based in a country where there's an uncertain financial market, where there are difficulties with liquidities or so, then it's also in the DRA score. So you don't have to translate a DRA 7 in the Netherlands to a DRA 7 in, for example, South Africa. The 7 is the same everywhere. And then the third kind of products is our credit opinion. With our credit opinion, you get the expertise of our underwriters, which are in business all day, deciding about limits for our insured customers. And this is a more prescriptive product, where we give you the maximum limit we would use in our credit insurance business. I think the DRA score and the credit opinion are very unique products. We use it for our own business. Stefan mentioned 588 billion already. We manage a risk portfolio of 588 billion. So if it's good enough to do that, then certainly it's good enough for your company. But let's go back to the demonstration, because I can talk about the Icon products all day. You can search based on name. You can use more details here if you have a zip code, if you have a city. But you can also choose to search by identifiers. In most countries, that's the VAT number, which is a unique identifier for a company. But you can also, if you have already information about this company via the Icon, then you can also use the Icon number. But what we see, most customers work via the VAT number. In this case, I use the name. You choose here the name, the country, and you go for search. Then below you see a list of companies which could be the right choice. And because I had the name exactly written here, I already see Heijmans NV as the first company. Here you already see some basic information so that you can check whether it's the company you are searching for. You already see some details about the financial statements and about the last update. You can choose for your products here. Now you have a business report, the score, and the credit opinion. We focus on score because we think this is for the supplier side the best solution. And then you choose the DRA or DRA with monitoring. You continue. What we do with most customers is that we sell subscriptions so that you can use the points and subscriptions to buy the reports. And if the subscription is almost full, we give you an update, and so you can extend the subscription. Now we see the debtor risk assessment. As I already told, it's from 0 to 10. In this case, it's a 7. You see a small explanation. It's a moderate risk, stable company. And the probability of default, which is corresponding with the DRA, the probability of default is 0.4%. So that's not too much. Most interesting part to see here is the DRA history. We see here the DRA in the last years. Ekman is a construction company in the Netherlands and has had very difficult years a few years ago, but now we see that it's a healthy company again. We follow this company very closely, and we sit with the CFO at the table for 3 or 4 times a year to make sure that we have the right information, not only the public information, but also information which we receive from the company management over there. You can see some details here, and you can also decide to download a PDF, and you can put that in your file or so. Last thing, because I'm already past my time, you can see the reports you have ordered in the past. You can check them again, so you can easily manage your portfolio of suppliers. Last thing I would like to show is that this is our portal, but we also have our API solution. So you can integrate our scores within your CRM system, or within your ERP system, or within your website. Pretty easy if you're from the information department, of course. And in this time you can integrate and you get the information automatically. If you want to have a more extensive demonstration, then I would like to invite you to contact us so we can give you some more details and we can spend some more time about showing you the website. But now I would like to go back to our presentation.
Right, and I think we will hand over to Göran, right?
Excellent. Good morning, everyone. My name is Göran Ekman, and I work out of Stockholm, Sweden, where I'm covering the Nordic countries within our offering of business information. And I do this with my great colleague, Lars Peterson. Fortunately, he's Danish, so he covers Denmark and Norway, and I cover Sweden and Finland within this sector. So my background is within the financial markets. I've been with the financial markets for some 25 years or something like that. And in the market, financial markets, I should say, risk is on everybody's agenda at all times and is, of course, monitored constantly. The topic I'm going to talk about today is our product called Portfolio Insights. And pretty easy, the whole idea is to have a product that can visualize your entire portfolio of risk, either if it's on supplier side or buyer side, and you want to get a good grasp on it. You can either have this as a one-off, we do it just once for you, or you can actually have it monitored monthly, quarterly, or whatever suits your needs. And I think this is a great product because it also, I mentioned visualize. A lot of people see things in numbers. A lot of people want to see things in pictures to get a good understanding and understand it fairly fast. And I would say that this is a little bit of both. It caters to both of those needs. So for whom, you might ask, I would definitely say this is an excellent product for procurement, supply chain, and so on, to monitor all your suppliers. On the flip side of that, of course, it's great for the risk, financial departments, CFOs and such, to monitor all the clients and all the risks that you have. There is a couple of other ways to look at this product as well. We have had cases where it's been used in due diligence processes. Actually, when you or somebody else is looking to buy a company, you want to deep dive into all the risk that that company has in the due diligence process. And then it's a very good tool to use for that, to understand the total risk of the company that you're going to buy. And of course, it is a dashboard, you could say as well. So for management, it's a very easy way to get a total overview, and of course, setting strategies and such for the future. So with that said, we're going to flip to the next slide, and I'll explain how it works. So there will be some effort on your side as well. So what we need from you is a list of companies, the companies you want us to check, and also the outstanding amounts that you have on these companies. You send it to us, And then we match each company with all our data, all our information. And finally, we uploaded the results to the web portal. And this is where you come back into the picture again. Now you can look at it, you can browse your dashboard online. And of course, as I said earlier, you could have it monitored as well, that we update it at the pace that you would choose. Portfolio insight, I should say, is divided into 4 areas or 4 categories. Excuse me. First, you have the executive dashboard, getting the big overview, the bigger picture, you might say. Then you have something that we call the portfolio country and sector view, that you can deep dive into a specific country or a specific sector. Or of course, you can slice and dice this as you want, and you can get both of them as well. And also you have the company view. You can deep dive into companies. And then finally, you can also get the world map version of it. We're going to start looking at the executive dashboard. If I can get the next slide, please. So how does it look? In this example, we have we got a list here for 500 companies. And as you can see on the right side, we have managed to verify 500 of them, 100% of it. So that's pretty good. We have, I believe it's 61 million. If you look to the far right, below total, or actually it says totalt, I'm sorry, there's some Swedish in there as well. But the outstanding amount is 61 million in this case. And if we back over to the left again, you can see that we have one part that is domestic. This is in your country. We have 75 out of these 500 companies in our country in this case. And if you look on the right, you have the export countries where it says you got 425. Then below that, in different colors, we have segmented it on what's the low risk, which is 43 counts in the domestic. Then you have the medium risk, which is 25, and the high risk, which is 7. Once again on the domestic. And if you move to a little bit to the right, you see, okay, what is the amount? So easily I can say that in my domestic risk, I have high risk for about 1 million euros. And then of course you have the export side there. And to the far right there, you have also the total outstanding. So plus, and then the total, so to speak. And below there, you see the outstanding and the DRA scale on all of those. So if I can move to the next slide, please. Thank you. Executive Dashboard Part 2. Now we can also see the total DRA, the weighted assessment of the whole portfolio. So you see that we have a 4.8 DRA on the total portfolio in the weighted assessment. Is that good, you might ask? Well, you also see the risk scale below there. As Monique pointed out earlier, you have the 0, which is pretty much default, and then you have the 10, which is great. But I guess a 4.8 is, well, it's up to you guys. Is it good? Is it something that you should get higher or lower? I don't know. It's up to you, so to speak. So, but there you have it. And then also you get a map of the world and a geographical breakdown of your portfolio. So very easy to see. So we're going to move into the company part. Next slide, please. So here I went a little bit deeper into a company. In this case, we have an Italian company here, and we get first on the far left, we get the DRA, which is a 5. Below there, you see a plus. that is our own outlook index. I'm not going to go into that one today. Might do that later at a later term. But also, since I went so deep, I also get the DRA of the holding company. As you see, the holding company Intertracto Italia, they have an 8 in this case. If you move further to the right, you would also get the number of the CRA, and that would be the country risk assessment. There it says a couple of things about Italy and where they are. And then after that, you get the SRA, which is the sector risk assessment. And here you see they manufacture metal products, which is considered in our sector risk assessment as a pretty high risk. I think the most important here is that on the bottom right, you would also get the DRA history, the debtor risk assessment history. And in this case, you can see they have been at a 6, they've been moving down, up, down, and then they pretty much flatten out. And I think this is very important to take notice on. And also you can do business on this, of course. I mean, me being a sales guy, if I had a company that was going from a DRA 5 in my portfolio to a DRA 6, I would probably have a possibility to sell more to them, hit the gas pretty much. This is where I can expand our offering to this company. On the flip side of that, of course, is if they would go from a 5 to a 4, I would probably hit the brakes. I might even ask them then, okay, can you prepay to me or something like that? That's the way I would work with the DRA. And I see a lot of people are doing that as well. There is a lot more. I only have a couple of minutes. I'm probably running out of time here soon, but there's way much more information to find here. For example, you can get the probability of default in %. You can get our outlook index, as I mentioned earlier. You can even get IFRS 9 calculation here as well. Finally, we have the world map. There's a couple of things you can deep dive into here as well. Weighted assessment, country risk assessment, number of companies, and of course, number of companies at a high risk. And I didn't even cover the portfolio and country and sector view, as I said. You can sort on regions, country, and both, of course. With that said, I will hand back to Stefan. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Göran. Thank you, Göran. Just would like to add one comment. I mean, we are used to handle large customer portfolios, and if you want to handle customer portfolios, 3 things are very important. Global coverage, we have this one. We have a global unique identifier. It's called the EASY number. It's not new at all. We have it since years with us. And if you want to handle large portfolios, you need matching know-how, and we have allocated our matching services in India. So we have all these 3 points which are necessary to handle large customer portfolios. So I would try to share my screen with you, and let me switch to another presentation, because today we can announce a new partnership, and you might know very well a company called riskmethods, and so I have to switch into the presenter mode. So what we just want to announce today is, does it work? So that we have from now on a new partnership together with the riskmethods. Riskmethods, I guess it's in the procurement and supply risk management area, well known. They are a leading provider, leading company in supply chain risk management. And the idea for this partnership was quite simple, because we are coming very deep from the financial risk. And we have, as I said, there's matching services and global identifier, and we have more and more demand from our customer side, also from the risk methods customer side. And risk methods is very, very deep into all the other risk data. Is it climate change data, tsunami risk data, earthquake data, political risk data, and so on. And the idea is that we just bring the risk methods data into our portfolio insights products, and especially risk methods brings in 4 data categories: man-made catastrophes, natural hazards, compliance and ESG, and financial health data. And then we just start to combine our data with the risk methods data, and then we will produce new pictures within this portfolio insight product, which we have just presented by you, Göran. So this is just to announce it. Later this month, next month, we will announce more details about it. How does it work, and pricing, and we also have to develop our contracts and so on. But we want to share with you definitely this good news. So I think I just checked with Annette. So what is left? What would be now the next step?
The next step would be the question and answers. So once again, the last call. If you have any questions to our experts, please go ahead and just write them up in the menu item, and I will start with some questions already received. So the first one.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
There's a voice from the background. Stefan has one slide left. It's a special slide. Do you want to share it, or do you want to skip it? It's the one we talked about this morning, the snapshot slide.
Yeah, I just have right now a black screen, but what we want to share with you, we have a special offer for you. When you are interested into the premium data of Coface, and I also could imagine that this portfolio insight product is also interesting from the supplier risk management perspective. We had a great discussion internally, but we are ready to cover all the costs. So if you are interested in, if you want to hand over your portfolio of your vendors, of your suppliers, strategic suppliers, we would match these suppliers, and we would upload all your portfolio into Portfolio Insight, would create some management summary pictures for you, and would give it for you back for free. I mean, this is an amazing offer. If you are interested in, just send us a message. We are ready for matching and uploading your portfolio into Portfolio Insight and produce some management summary pictures for free. Yeah, this is I want to share with you. And let's go back now to the questions and answers.
Yes. So the first question would be, I think maybe Monique could answer, how far back does the DRA history goes? So the example you have shown was back until 2017. So is there a fixed date, or does it depend on how many data Coface has received already?
Thank you, Annette. It depends on the data we have, of course, but we always try to go back 5 years. But some now and then we see new established companies, of course, but we still find new companies within this world, and then we might have a shorter history.
Okay, thank you for this. Then maybe the next one would be to Göran. The Portfolio Insights, is there a limit of companies I can monitor?
No, not really. Let's talk about it, and we can. I know that we have done above. I don't know, Stefan. What's the highest number we've done so far?
It's above 200,000 companies, so maybe there is a technical limit, but I've never heard about. So let's say there's no limit.
Perfect.
No
Thank
limits.
you. Then the next question, is it possible to update information automatically into the ERP system, the information like credit limit or credit ratings? Oh, I'm not sure if we've lost Stefan.
Can I answer this question?
Yeah, thank you, Monique.
Yeah, if you make use of the API, then you can do that automatically. You can also choose to download a list from the portal and then upload it in your own system. But most easy is of course our API solution.
Okay, thank you for this. Then we have another question. How can we receive a scoring for a group of companies, not only for a company in the group? The company from a group might look good, but the group as a whole can have problems and drag this company down.
Shall I take this one again?
So is there a possibility to receive a scoring of a whole group, and not only for one company within a group? So because the one company might have a good rating, but the group as a whole might have a bad one. And so is there a possibility to also have a view of a group?
No, the DRA is based on the single company. But what we do within Coface, we spend a lot of effort on organization structures. And if we see that a holding company is financially unhealthy, then it cannot be that the one of the subsidiaries has a higher DRA. So DRA is always blocked on the DRA of the holding company. And that's a large difference with generic information providers. They make an assessment of the company itself without taking into account the whole structure in which the company is organized. So if you see a DRA of 4 within a company which might look healthy, if you see the figures yourself, then it could be that the holding company is very unhealthy.
Thank you for the clarification.
I'm back. I had some technical issues, but I'm back.
Yeah, sorry. You have been missed, but we managed. So everything is well. So one last question. You have been presenting that the data that are in our systems are exactly the same that we are using for our underwriting business. That is absolutely true. So the question is, if I buy this information, will it exactly match with the credit limit decision?
Will it match with the credit? Sorry?
With the credit limit decision.
Yeah. It's as I said, and I remember when the whole crisis with Russia and Ukraine started. I was as a member of the executive board. I was in meetings where we discussed our exposure and risk in Ukraine and Eastern Europe and Russian, and all the figures were expressed in euro, and the risk was just expressed in our DRA.
Okay, so there seems to be a problem with the connection of Stefan, but he answered the question and I have no further questions. So if Monique or Göran, you would like to add something to what has already been said, then please feel free and go ahead.
Perhaps I can add a little sentence to the answer of Stefan. If our underwriter is requested to take a decision, and that might be a credit limit decision for the credit insurance, or that might be a decision for the advanced opinion for our business information customers, there's no difference in his approach, his or her approach. It's exactly the same, and it doesn't make any difference whether it's for our own risk or whether it's for the risk of the customer, because we use the same information, the same expertise, the same knowledge, so it's the same. And that's what we see in with our customers which make use of the advanced opinion. that they do not want to have the insurance part of Coface, but they do want to make advantage of our expertise and our information. And then this is an excellent product.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you to all of our participants for staying with us. And hopefully you learned something new that you can use for your businesses. And as already said, you will receive all information afterwards via mail. And thank you again for joining. Thank you to our experts. We are done almost on time, and we'll see each other again, hopefully, one time during the next months with the next info webinar. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Access new information to make clearer business decisions. Thanks to Ekman, Emily has access to Coface's finest risk evaluation tools based on our 75 years experience. Credit opinions are the recommended exposure limits based on Coface's payment history and credit risk insurance underwriting knowledge. These products allow Emily to back her decisions thanks to Coface's credit insurance experience. The Credit Opinion Service includes Coface's Debtor Risk Assessment, or DRA. The DRA is a score that reflects a company's capacity to honour its short-term financial commitments. This assessment is based on several indicators, such as financial stability, profitability, payment incidents, and debt collection experience, among others. The Risk Monitoring Service warns Emily of any changes in a company's situation and can be activated with any of our information products. And when Emily needs comprehensive information to conduct her own in-depth risk analysis of her business partners, she can generate a full report. This also includes complete financial data, a credit score and recommended maximum credit, but also Coface's payment experience, the Coface adjustment. Ekman offers and will offer many other products. Like Emily, with Ekman, you can make decisions based on Coface's risk assessment expertise, monitor your risks in the easiest and most intuitive way, and use Coface's valuation to seize new business opportunities. To request a full demonstration, visit information.coface.com.